So this last March, I attended a wedding in a little town called Placerville, California. When I went to this wedding, I initially was gonna just go back home after the wedding was over. But at the very last minute, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go get a hotel room and stay the night there. Now, usually if I'm in a situation where I need to get a hotel room at the very last minute, I use Hotwire. It's a great app. It books a room for you that's nearby your area. It doesn't really let you choose the hotel that you're going to stay at or which room that you're getting, but it will find the best prices that are available because some rooms just don't get booked that day, so they're trying to at least book something. So I got on Hotwire and I looked at hotels that were in Placerville, and it showed me one that was actually right near the wedding that was like $70, something like that. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm taking it. That's mine. And the hotel I was booked at was the historic Cary House Hotel. Now, I didn't know anything about the Cary House until I actually got there, but after I checked in and got all my stuff put away, I noticed that things were kind of old. Like old on purpose. Like things really needed to get replacing. Like there was this chandelier that was in our room that was above the bed that looked like it was really about to fall off. And on top of that, there was also this picture that was hanging on the wall that for some reason really bothered me, but I'll get back to that. So after getting settled in, I decided to look up some information online about the place, and it turns out that it's haunted. At least that's what people were saying about it. And not only were there stories about it being haunted, but there were even TV shows that were talking about it. Like, there was a show called Portals to Hell on the Travel Channel where they go and investigate the whole thing.
I have never done an investigation that is so layered with kind of a history of involvement with secret societies. What the was that? What the was that? Hello? Oh, that just freaked me out. You say bad magic. The name of the temple here in Placerville is the Morning Star Temple,
which is another name for Satan.
We've had this door fully locked open
This
on
one?
us, yeah, as we were walking by just the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fully locked, and
Yeah.
we weren't even leaning on it or anything, and it just opened.
There were a bunch of YouTube channels that were trying to go ghost hunting in there and play some Phasmophobia or something.
Did she just say rituals?
Yes.
Right now, that little K2 meter is lighting up like crazy still. And honestly, I went through there and I don't see any reason why that should be going off.
That was right next to me. That was a step.
Right next to you.
Right
That was
next
a
to me.
step.
That was so close.
That was a step.
That was like a hard step, like forward at someone.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay.
Dude,
I
were you
feel-
feeling that way?
So after finding all this out, I'm just like, oh, great. Okay. I guess I'm staying in a haunted hotel tonight. So I decided to just get blackout drunk. Because, hey, I had to be at a wedding the next day. I wasn't going to let a ghost mess with me all night and keep me awake. Hell no. I know I'm not going to advocate for getting blackout drunk. You really shouldn't do that. But, hey, give me a better reason to do that. I dare you. It worked. I slept all night. Well, no, I didn't sleep all night, actually. I got back at around 2 in the morning, I've been told, and I probably fell asleep maybe an hour later. I don't really remember much of it, but I do remember waking up at around like 10-ish and going through my phone, and I see this picture on it. Okay, yeah, I took that picture, obviously. I mean, I had to have. I just don't remember it. I don't. I probably in a drunken stupor just put it up on the wall somewhere just to mess with my friends being all like, ooh, a ghost, or something. I don't know. Knowing how I am when I'm drunk, that does sound like something I would do. But what I don't understand is, why does the clock say 12:37 on it? it shouldn't say that at all. Checkout was at 11. I checked out before then. And what's even weirder is that this picture was taken at 8:17 a.m. So I guess I woke up 4 or 5 hours after I fell asleep and just put the phone in the wall and took a picture of it after screwing with the alarm clock while I was drunk and don't remember anything. Those are really the only things that I have of that hotel on camera, except for one thing. The light fixture that's in the hallway across from my door would flicker sometimes when I was shutting it. It's an old building. It was built in the 1800s. I'm sure the wiring and the electrical system needs to get replaced. I don't know why it's being selective on when it reacts to the door shutting, but that's probably what it is. Oh yeah, and I did take a picture of this that was hanging in the hallway. Get a load of this group over here. That totally doesn't look cultish at all. I'd watch out for this one. This one looks cool though. I'd hang out with her. Now, personally, I don't really believe in ghosts. I mean, think about it. If ghosts are real, then wouldn't ghosts just be everywhere? Like, name one place where no one's died at. Maybe somewhere in Antarctica or something, but literally everywhere else, somebody has died in that spot throughout human history. So ghosts would just be floating around kind of everywhere, wouldn't they? I used to live in this one place where the bathroom door would just start shutting on you when you walked into it.
Going?
Yep.
All right. I just walked in. That door was staying still.
There was that other time in that same house where this floating balloon was just flying around the room, and I woke up and recorded it. I actually remember going back to sleep after I filmed that, and then woke up and then found that same balloon in that bathroom. Whatever. It was years ago, and I never saw anything else after that. Look, my point is, in order for me to believe that there is a ghost here, it's got to like jump out in front of me and go, "What's up?" and right in my face, and that didn't happen. So I don't think the Cary House is haunted. But there is one thing that kept bothering me months after I left that place. It was that picture. That one that was hanging on the wall. I don't know why I paid so much attention to it. I don't know why it bothered me so much. I think it was because it looked perfect. It looked super clean, like not a speck of dust was on top of that thing. And the whole rest of the room was all just kind of not really well kept, and just things needed to be repaired, and it stood out big time. That's what it was. It stood out. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like that Portals to Hell show, one of them actually stayed in that exact same room that I was in. And you can see that picture on the wall right there. There it is, right there. That episode was made years ago, so the picture's not new. It's been there for a while. I don't know why it looked so pristine when I went and saw it, but it definitely stood out, and I didn't notice it at first, but when I looked at the picture again, I noticed there's an address on it. So I got curious. I looked up the address, and I found the building. It looks exactly like how it does in the picture. And guess what? It's also a hotel. It's called the Inn San Francisco. It used to be this old Victorian house that was owned privately, and then someone else bought it and renovated it and turned it into a hotel. Now I ask you, have you ever heard of a single business that has hundreds and hundreds of reviews on all different websites that all have a 5-star average? I had never heard of such a thing, especially in California. especially in San Francisco. Like, look at this. 5-star here, 5-star there, Yelp 5-star, TripAdvisor 5-star, this 5-star here, and okay, Google has 4.9, but that's basically a 5-star. And then you got this 5-star here, that, like, why? This just keeps getting weirder and weirder, man. I feel like I'm on goofy pills or something. Whoa! How does it have so many positive reviews? It doesn't look that awesome. In fact, it looks pretty old, just like the Cary House did. It's a bunch of old and weird designs and like really ancient looking furniture. Like, I don't get it. I'm getting burnt out, man. I keep going down a bunch of rabbit holes and it keeps leading me into different directions, and I'm not getting anywhere with making any kind of connection between this place and the one that I was just at. So I decided to stop and say, you know what? Forget it. The only way I'm ever gonna find any kind of clues is to actually go there. So I did. I booked a room at the inn and I went and stayed there on August 1st. And here's what happened. Jeez Louise, cut the cheese. I don't know if anybody was murdered in this room, but I'm pretty sure that people were conceived in it. This is freaking nice. Let me see if there's anything wrong with it. Yeah, everything checks out. Looks good to me. Who am I kidding? Even if there was a ghost here, then it's not gonna just make itself known right off the bat. So what I decided to do was take a Google Nest camera and put it over in the corner of the room so that way it would detect any motion when I'm not there and while I'm sleeping. Just let it run, do its thing, and see if it caught anything weird. So did I see a ghost? No. Did the camera see a ghost? No. Did the camera see anything weird? Yeah, kind of. There were 4 things that the camera picked up that I noticed that was a bit strange. I was either gone, or it happened overnight, or it happened when I was moving in and out of the room. You see, the Google Nest camera is supposed to pick up about 2 minutes of recordings before it detects any motion. But there was one clip where it had 5 minutes of nothing before I came back into the room. It was the only clip that I got from the entire stay where it recorded for this long before anything happened. I think it was probably the hotel Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi there wasn't too great, like most hotels are. So it probably just tried to make a connection and then failed, but then rebooted and then brought it back up. That's just me guessing though. Aside from that, there are 3 different things that involve random lights. Throughout all the recordings, when it's dark and the night vision is active, you see little streaks of light just kind of whiz back and forth here and there, or they just sort of float there. I don't know what that is. Some people say that those are ghost orbs, like they're little balls of energy that just sort of float around and let you know that there's some kind of presence there. I don't know if I would say that. It looks like a bug to me. Now the second part is in this mirror. Right in the center, on the left side, where the mirror sort of edges off, there's this glowing white light that pretty much stays there for the whole trip. Doesn't matter if it's dark, doesn't matter if it's light, doesn't matter if I'm there or if I'm not. It stays there. Now normally this wouldn't have bothered me or caught my attention, except it didn't start glowing this way until around here. And then it just didn't stop. I think the reason why the glow didn't start until later on in the footage was probably because the cabinet doors weren't exactly aligned in the way that I had closed them. Like the left door was probably opened just a tad bit more when I started recording, so it didn't really catch that glow. That's the only explanation I can think of. And then there's this part, which really caught me off guard. When the night vision is on and I'm going to bed and then getting up out of bed, there's this glowing ball that's stuck on my hip. Like it follows me around the whole time while I'm getting up in the morning. It did not leave my side. Pretty weird, right? Well, actually, I have an explanation for all that. This is the shirt that I was wearing. And it doesn't really have anything on it except for on the side where the glow was happening. It has this little silver reflective thing on it. So that has to be what it was. The night vision was just picking up on this little, very minuscule, kind of hard to see in the daylight little logo that was silver on it and just thought it was a big glowing ball. Honestly, I didn't even know that this was on here until that pointed it out. I don't know why it turned into a big glowing ball, but that had to have been what it was. Anyways, that's my explanation for how those happened. But the camera did pick up on one more thing that I don't have an explanation for. Here it is. So this is me at night going to bed at around 1:10 in the morning. Now the camera keeps recording for a few minutes. I know it's really creepy how my eyes are glowing, but just try to ignore it. But then, as the clip is about to end, this happens. Did you see it? Let's play that back. So within the last couple of seconds, maybe not even a second, you see the bed sheets start to just fold as if something is pushing down on them. Now I thought this was just me pulling my foot back, but why didn't the motion detection pick that up and keep recording? In fact, when you go to the next clip, I'm in a completely different position than I was before. There had to have been motion going on that it didn't record, but it didn't. What you see next is the next thing that the camera picked up, and that was hours later. In fact, there are only 2 clips of me being asleep and just tossing and turning. But every time one of them ends, another one starts with me in a different position. Now here's what's really messing with me. On the Google Nest application, where you can view all of your clips from a browser, you can check out everything that the camera picked up and then save your clips from there. That's how I got all this footage. But at this moment, at this particular last few frames where you see that fold, you don't see it in the browser. It doesn't show you that at all. It just automatically goes to the next clip. I didn't even notice this until I played the clip that I had downloaded. I got nothing. I don't know what to say about it. Glitchy camera? I hope that's what it is. I don't even want to know what it is at this point. But still, like the Cary House, nothing happened. I got a great sleep, actually. In fact, that was one of the best sleeps I had had in a while. And you know what? Furthermore, I don't have anything bad to say about this place. This place was freaking great. The room was immaculate. They had one of the best breakfasts that I had ever had provided to me by a hotel. They had this really, really cool rooftop hangout area where you could see the whole 360-degree view of the city. And they also had a really neat little cottage garden where you could hang out and go take a dip in the jacuzzi if you wanted to. And the jacuzzi was open 24 hours. I have never heard of a hotel that does 24/7 jacuzzi time. But this place has it. So yeah, I didn't see any ghosts myself, and yeah, the camera did pick up some weird stuff, but that doesn't prove anything. It's probably just malfunctions with the camera or the Wi-Fi or something that can be explained. I don't think it's ghosts that did it. Like, this place is not haunted. I don't think so at all. I'd say that if you're in San Francisco for some reason, then this is the place to stay at. I had a great time. And as I'm going around the hotel, I couldn't find any glaring connections to the Cary House. Although I do gotta say, one of the girls in these photos looks an awful lot like that one picture I saw in the Cary House. Actually, the big thing that stood out to me in that hotel was just that there was a bunch of wedding certificates, wedding photos, paintings of weddings. There was a lot of wedding stuff put up there. I even asked the staff there what that was about, and they literally just said that it was just up there because. No other rhyme or reason to it. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary for me. Well, okay. there is one thing I did leave out. So this didn't happen until the last 30 minutes that I was there. I was getting everything together, my bags were all packed, I was getting ready to leave, and I was showering. And by the time I'm done, I walk out and I notice the alarm clock got reset. Well, how'd that happen? I didn't touch it. I didn't touch that alarm clock the entire time I stayed there. And I looked at the footage from earlier, it wasn't blinking at any other point in time. Even on the videos that I was recording, it was a perfectly set clock. And as shown here, I didn't mess with the alarm clock since I woke up. The only thing I can think of that could have made that happen was when I was in the bathroom taking a shower, there was a power surge of some kind. Something that reset the electricity. At 11:30, which was about 5 minutes after this happened, you see the camera start another clip recording and the colors just sort of come back to normal. So maybe there was just a power issue that just reset everything in the room, including my camera. Now I didn't notice it because I didn't have any lights on in the bathroom, but that has to have been it. Huh. What the heck? What are the odds of that? Staying in two different places when both alarm clocks decided to screw up on me. 12:37. And this one says 12:24. 12:37 minus 12:24. Oh my god, that's 13. Alright, joke's over. I'm cursed.